Are you planning to stay this time? And if you stay, let me stay.
Welcome to the GridironBoyz podcast. I am your host, Evan Lopez.
And I am your host, Aaron Ross.
We have a very special guest coming to you, and his name is Austin Ross. Man, tell us a little bit about yourself, man.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Well, I am the brother of these two hosts right here. I'm excited to be part of this, so I'm just here to have a good time. I'm really excited about what you two guys got going on right here. I'm be honest, I really did not think you would ever do this. I thought this was kind of just like a joke, like a screw around, say you're going to do it. But I'm really excited. Y'all decided to kind of just step in and do it. I think it's just fun. I'm excited to see what this brings y'all. So just glad to be a part of it.
No,
First
I love
off,
that.
The joke is your hat. Moving on.
His camera is a little too blurry. You might not be able to see it, but it does say horns down.
It says horns down. Recom Tech. Here we are.
But we'll be talking about the Big 12. We got predictions and breakdowns. Me and Aaron have had plenty of time, kind of, to do the in-depth stuff, but at the end, it kind of got a little closed in. I was planning on moving soon, so I got to pack. Yeah, a little hectic. Aaron's got a kid on the way. Austin just had a kid and moved, so he had the worst of it. And we told him it was going to be the 12th, but Aaron was like, hey, I'm going to have a kid. And we're like, really, bro? So we had to push this back. So Austin's a little,
Why are you so negative about children and moving?
Just kidding, dude. I'm happy for it, but I'll just say my list is it might be a little shit, but we tried our best. So let's get started, man. Aaron, you're gonna start with 16, and we're gonna tell you why we believe this team is this bad and stuff like that. So Aaron, why don't you start? Who was the worst team in the Big 12?
Oh, excuse me. A. B, I think it's pretty simple. It's UCF. They were supposed to be at least decent last year. They were terrible last year. And then they lost anybody that was supposed to be good. They lost them. I mean, I'm looking at a tight end. I struggled to find players. I'm not even going to lie to you. I struggled to find players for this team. They have a tight end, Dylan Wade, Jr., 6'2", 240. That's a short tight end. I tell you what. He's got 374 yards for 2 TDs, and not much of a game changer either. But I felt like I had to put at least one offensive player down. So there he is. We got. We always start out this show. We're not experts, but I am a DB guy. I love my defensive backs, right? So I got 2 here. I got Philip Dunham. He is a senior, 6'1", 190. He got 56 total tackles for 28 solos. He has 1 forced fumble and 3 INTs. So, I mean, he's looking like he could be a decent player. We got to see if he can step up this year or not. We'll see. And then we also have Damari Henderson, a junior, 6 foot, 170. Not a very good size, personally. I want him a little bigger, a little beefier. Got 45 total tackles to 29 solos, but he does have 2 forced fumbles and 3 INTs. So maybe they got something going in the defensive back room. I'm not sure. I'm gonna be real with you. I'm not sold on UCF at all.
And you know what? I'm going to agree. My 16 team is going to be UCF as well. Like Aaron said, they went 4-8, 2-7 in conference play. So I wrote down a couple wins and losses. That's how I, look at their stuff. And they beat TCU by 1. And they beat Arizona 56-12, so they whooped their ass. And they beat TCU. They lost to BYU by a tutty. So it's not too bad. But Big 12, they were 9th in offense, 12th in defense. And like Aaron said, man, them players, dude, I struggled to find a single one. It took me a while to dig deep. And here we go. So right now I got quarterback Tavon Jackson. He's Indiana's backup last year. He started 1 game against Washington. He threw for 349 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 1 INT for the year. I think he played a couple more downs, but he was just a start against Washington. Also, I got Carter Miller. He is a center, also an offensive guard. He played for ULM last year, so a transfer this year. Man, and he's 6'2", 300 pounds. He's actually one of the 2 4-star transfers that UCF has this year, so I think he's going to be a big part. 4 starters were gone from the offensive line, so they redid the whole unit. So this guy's going to have to step up and take the charge. And also defense. We're going to move on to the defense. I got Philip Dunham. He's a safety from Florida Atlantic, another transfer. Man, this dude is a senior, like Aaron said. Also, moving on, since Aaron already talked about him, I got John Walker. This guy last year tore his meniscus, so let's see what he can do. I just had to pick a player, and I picked him. The reason why UCF is going to be worse than last year, I think, is because they lost 3 defensive tackles. One of them was Lee Hunter that went to Texas Tech. So your whole D-tackle room is gone. You're going to have to reshape it, see what happens, man. And that's all I got. It's a tough team. But we'll see. We'll see what can happen. Man, what you think, Austin, about UCF?
Well, I have UCF a little higher than y'all. Not much. Y'all have UCF at 16. I actually have them at 13. I got them being better than 3 other teams in the Big 12. Obviously, I don't have them being good, but I do see them a little higher. I think one of the reasons that I'm going to allude to, Scott Frost is coming back. All right, and if anybody remembers Scott Frost when he was at UCF, you remember UCF, that was their time right there. That was really big. You know, they go take on LSU. If anybody can remember that game back in the, what year was that? Let's see, Joe Burrow was there. Remember when LSU lost to UCF? They're national champs that they didn't get it. They were undefeated.
2017, wasn't it?
Yeah. So it was like Scott Frost. He's coming back to UCF. So I'm really excited for that. It's kind of like Scott Frost is coming back home, really. And so I think that brings some good feels into Florida. I think that's where Scott Frost needs to be. I just don't think I understood him going to Nebraska. I think it was the money, honestly. I mean, you do so good at UCF, and so obviously it's your chance to go move up into those Power 5 schools. But now he's coming back to UCF, and what he was able to do with UCF, and now he's coming back, and he has better resources. You're in a P4 conference, so you have more resources to go get those players. So for his ability to kind of build a culture and build what he did at UCF without what he's going to have now, I'm kind of excited for that. I kind of think that he'll be able to kind of turn it around. I'm not saying it's going to be great, so obviously, like you said, I have him higher than y'all, but not much. 13th. That's really what's saving it. Other thing, UCF, it's the quarterback battle. I think that's the thing that we're all questioning here. It's like, who's your quarterback, right? Is it going to be Tavon Jackson or Cam Fancher? You know, Cam Fancher he's a transfer from Marshall. And so you're going to kind of look for that. But they got like 30 transfers out of the portal. So I just don't know what team this is going to be. But I have UCF at 13th. My dead last team I have at Arizona. Arizona underperformed last year wildly. And so I think another big thing is you just don't know. Now, obviously, I think that's going to be, I'm sure as we start talking about the Big 12, there's going to be a pattern here. We don't know. There's just so much parity in this conference. I could be totally wrong right here when I talk about Arizona. My dead last is Arizona. You want to talk about a complete change of a team. They had 53 new players on that team coming this year. And I think about 25 of them are coming by way of transfer portal. 53 new players. So I'm sitting here thinking like that doesn't usually add up to it's cool to get new players when you need it, but that doesn't work all the time. Getting brand new, I mean, you can go ask Florida State and see how that worked for them, and they got brand new players. It didn't work out for you, okay? And that's Florida State getting usually some of the better ones, might I add. So my dead last is Arizona. I think they're going to fall short this year. A whole new team, new identity. I don't know what's going to come out of this Arizona, but I'm not too optimistic about it, should you say.
Fair enough.
They do have Noah Fafita, though. So, I mean, that's always a good thing for Arizona. You know,
that is true. That's a good point. All right, Aaron, what you got for 15, my boy?
Brother in Christ, I have Cincinnati. Good old Cincinnati. I mean, I'm not like these guys. I don't have their past schedule pulled up. I just look at their present schedule and I look at their players coming back and stuff, and I don't see it being too pretty, you know? I mean, I do like their quarterback, Brendan Sorsby. I mean, he doesn't seem like he's going to be too bad. What did he run? He had almost 3,000 yards, 18 TDs to 7 INTs. had another almost 500 rushing yards to almost 10 rushing touchdowns. I mean, potential's there. He's only a junior. I mean, good size, 6'3", 228. I mean, maybe a little short, but overall, he's not that bad. I mean, they got a decent running back, Tallway Walker, I believe is how you say his name. Fucking correct me if I'm wrong. I mean,
That's how I said it. So I'm with you, my boy.
Correct me if I'm wrong. As we love to say, we are not experts.
We are not experts.
Yep.
Come on, Austin, jump in, my boy.
Yeah, figure it out,
Yeah, no,
brother.
I'm definitely not expert. Yeah, no, I'm definitely not expert.
I mean, short little shit. I mean, 5'9", 218, but he almost rushed for 1,000 yards, 10 TDs. I mean, I feel like he's probably going to be the offense's biggest playmaker, is what it looks like. I mean, if last year's indicator of how he's going to be this year, he seems like he's going to be the playmaker. They do have a DB, Matthew McDoom. Shout out
Damn
the
it.
name. Shout out the name.
You just stole my thunder. You just stole my thunder, my boy.
That's
Hey,
awesome.
it's
That is
what
a
I do,
good last
baby.
name, huh?
5'11",
Hey, what position
170,
does he play?
36 totals, DB.
Yep.
I believe it's
McDoom.
corner or safety. I just put DB.
He's a corner.
There you go. I just put DB on him.
McDoom. That is
Hell of a name, right? Hell of a fucking name.
absolutely. I didn't even know that. That's awesome.
36 total tackles, 27 solos, 3 INTs. I mean, I believe he needs to get that weight up. 170 pounds. I mean, gotta get that weight up, son. You're gonna get yourself hurt. I mean, then I also have a linebacker, Jonathan Thompson, 6'2", 230 junior, 49 total tackles to 22 solos. I mean, 2 sacks, 1 forced fumble. Cincinnati, I mean, where they have some bright spots, I don't see them putting it together this year. I really don't, so I have them at my 15 spot.
Gotcha. Man, let me see. Let's see if me and Aaron are locked in together. Look at my trusty notebook. I'm going around and around. I also, at my number 15, just kidding, I got Arizona. Kind of like Austin. I think they're going to be at the bottom. Austin did say Noah Fafiti. Is that how you say his name?
Fafita.
Yes.
Fafita. There we go. Fafita.
Noah
Yeah,
Fafita.
he is a bright spot. He is a bright spot in Arizona. But, I don't think they have too many. Let's go over there. 4-8 last year, 2-7 in conference play. They're 15th ranked in the Big 12 in offense and 13th ranked in defense. So they're at the bottom of the barrel pretty much. So from my offense, I got Luke Wansong, receiver from New Mexico. He had 69 receptions, 840 yards, 1 touchdown. So we need a little bit more touchdowns from Luke there, but the yardage is pretty good. Also, I got Ismail Mahadi, a running back. He will be a senior this year. He had 183 attempts, 991 yards, 4 TDs last year. He was from Texas State. So those 2 guys, transfers. And then on the defensive side, I got Genesis Smith, a safety. He's also a junior. 39 solo tackles, 2 forced fumbles, 3 INTs, and 6 pass deflections. And then Dalton Johnson, another safety, which is also going to be a senior this year. He has 46 solo tackles, 2 forced fumbles, and 2 pass deflections. And I also wanted to point out, because we do have a Texas fan, so we have a transfer, Javion Cole, a cornerback, will be going to Arizona. Do you know anything about him, Aaron?
Nope.
Javion Cole? No? Okay.
Wasn't
So that
good
makes
enough.
sense. That's why he transferred. Yeah, he needed some playing time. So you go to Arizona. Fair
Good
enough.
Lord.
Hey,
That is my number
we
15.
speak truth here, all right? I don't sugarcoat it. I don't got a bias.
I,
What good enough? Move the fuck on, baby.
yeah. You did bring up
Go
an
get you-
extra.
hey, no
an
hate, no
extra-
hate. Go get you some playing time, young blood. Go get you some playing time.
Javion Cole.
Now, Evan, you put on you made a good point. As far as Arizona, they got some transfers for that wide receiver. They lost McMillan, to the draft, and that's Fafita's guy. But I think they could have the possibility with the transfers they got. I think they got. You named a wide receiver I know from New Mexico, right?
Yes, sir.
I think it was from New Mexico. I forgot his name because the quarterback from New Mexico
Luke
also
Weissong.
transferred. And and I'll get into the New Mexico transfer, the quarterback that threw to him, and he transferred to a Big 12 team. I'll get into that later. I think they're going to start trying
ball.
to. They're going to try and basically recreate McMillan's production through committee, right? Like, let's just get a good receiving core instead of having obviously this. We don't got the stud receiver, so
This world beater.
it'd be interesting to see how it works out. If Fafita can just start throwing the ball to multiple receivers now, not having to rely on one, just outrageously talented receiver.
Didn't their coach go to Washington?
Arizona's?
Arizona? Yeah, Arizona. And then he tried getting Fafita and them over, and they decided to stay at Arizona. I might be wrong.
Yeah, I don't know, but I will
think
say
so.
thank you, McMillan. I forgot to mention he actually he had a fumble which caused Tech to win the game on that slant route. So thank you to him for giving the Tech a dub. I will appreciate that.
Speaking
All
of
right,
Tech, I
Aaron.
hate your hat. Moving on.
There
Moving
we go.
on. Moving
There's a
on.
stray. Number 14 for Aaron.
My 14 team
well then,
is...
all right, never mind. Hey, 15 for me, Cincinnati as well. 15 is Cincinnati.
Oh,
You're good, man.
Oh.
Move on.
My 14...
There's nothing good to say
with,
about them. They're uninteresting to me.
Yeah, moving...
15. I don't see anything good.
Just moving on.
So it's a good one.
15 Cincinnati, moving on.
Yeah. I'll just throw that in there.
My
Like, boy,
14, I got Arizona. I mean, I guess we're all kind of down bad on
yeah,
them.
they're at the bottom. Yeah.
I
16,
mean, we
15,
got Noah
14.
Fafita.
Gotcha.
Evan done talked about Ismail Mahdi and Dalton Johnson. The only other thing I can add on them is Tay Brown, the linebacker, junior, 6'2", 231, 69 total tackles to 30 solos, 2.5 sacks, and 1 forced fumble. I mean, I feel like the potential's there. I just, like y'all are saying, I don't see much coming out of Arizona. So, I mean, obviously it's the Big 12, so like, the other day, we'll see. We may stand corrected. They could fuck around and win the whole damn thing, but doubt it. But yeah, I mean, that's really all I got on them is
No,
I can't
you're wrong.
Yeah.
All right, well then my 14 team. Oh my goodness, my mic. I'm just gonna talk about them, I guess. Cincinnati. So we pretty much already talked about him. Aaron pretty much got every single player of mine, even Matthew McDoom, the cornerback, and I'm very sad that I didn't get to him first. So that sucks. I really wanted to bring that out there. But 5-7 last year, Cincinnati, 3-6 in conference play. They beat Houston 34-0. Pretty cool. They also lost to Texas Tech 41-44 and lost to Pitt 27-28. I will say, looking at their schedule last year, they lost pretty close games. So, I mean, your losses were
games go
within
their
one
way and they're
score.
bowl eligible. Yeah.
Exactly. So they were close. One-score games decided their fate. It's just how it is. The running back got Walker. Aaron already touched on him. He's from Wisconsin. I wanted to add he had 198 yards, which was his best game against Rutgers. He had 3 touchdowns that game. I just wanted to point that out there.
The founders of college football right there, baby.
Look at that. Let's drink to that. I ain't got nothing. So, yeah. Quarterback Brendan Sorsby.
Drink some.
Aaron already
Drink
talked
some
about
water.
him. Yeah, I ain't got no drink, dude. I'm fucked. Well, we're just gonna be dehydrated, so it's fine. Oh, thank you, my brother. I got you. And then defense, Dante Corleone. Woo, that name. That name's cool too.
Corleone's
Rolls off the tongue,
Godfather
baby.
right there.
That's what I'm talking about.
Stuff.
He's a
Excuse me,
D
good
tackle.
lord.
He's gonna be a senior this year. He had 26 total tackles.
Their parents really
14
thought. I'm so
solos.
sorry. I don't mean to interrupt you, but their parents
No,
really
you're
thought
good.
about that. Dante Corleone, like Don Corleone, Godfather.
Yeah, I know. It's amazing. Yeah, 5 tackles for losses, 3.5
Keep up with that
sacks.
guy.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
saying,
yeah,
keep up with that one,
you
man.
ain't wrong. That dude had
Don
4
Corleone?
quarterback hurries too. Dante Corleone. He's gonna be a D tackle
Dante.
senior this year. And then I just felt like Cincinnati wins the name game in Big 12. Dante Corleone, Matthew McDoom on the defense. They're gonna be the best defense in Big 12 just by their names. And I also wanted to point out the whole wide receiver group that are projected starters are transfers. It's gonna be tough. And
that with a grain of salt.
yeah, it's going to be tough, but that's why I got Cincinnati so low.
14, I've got Houston.
The H-Town, huh?
Yeah, and it's really funny. You kind of want to say, well, maybe they can rely on their defense just a little bit, but as you already stated, how they got waxed by Cincinnati, that was not a good thing. I think Houston has been seen as the team that you should put down as a win on the schedule as of late. I think they can squeak it out against teams, of the lesser. Maybe they can start moving up this rank. So, I have Houston.
As you're
You want to
saying
talk
that,
about
let me see where I actually have Houston right now.
Do you want to talk about their quarterback? I know you watched a ton of his games. Texas A&M.
Oh yeah, that's true. Wegman.
Wegman. You want to? I thought you were going to bring him up a little bit.
I think they, like I said, I think they have some room for improvement, and so that's why I picked him over obviously the Cincinnati and Arizona, even though Arizona has also a seasoned quarterback. I think Connor Wegman will be good. I think that'll help Houston, especially since he's seen the SEC defense. I think that's something to be, noticed and think about. But I got them at 14.
He ain't seen the Big 12
That's
defense, though.
Yeah, you seen a Big 12 defense, cut.
Can't wait.
Oh, snap.
My 13 team is Kansas. I am not too high on them. I mean, their quarterback, Jalen Daniels, does come back. Whoop-de-doo-dot-a. I feel like I'm supposed to be excited about this man, like I was supposed to be excited about Cam Rising. If the Duke could stay on the field, then hell yeah, I would be excited, but homie spends most of the year hurt, so whatever. I mean, he still almost threw for 3,000 yards for a not-so-good 14 TDs, 12 INTs. He did almost rush for 500 yards and 6 TDs, but, got to be on the field for that. I mean, complete game changer when he is on the field. He is an absolute dog, absolute animal. The issue is he's not on the field. The best ability is availability, and he is never available. So whatever. We're gonna shout out another lineman. I don't do this often, but give me Bryce Foster, 6'5", 310, absolute behemoth of a human. Scares the shit out of me. Whatever. I believe he was a key player last year. Really protected whoever the backup was. Can't really say he protected Jalen Daniels. And I do believe he'll repeat it this year. I do believe he'll be a force this year. Really protect whoever backs up Jalen Daniels. I mean, should protect him pretty well. Then they got the DB DJ Graham, 6 foot, 200 pounds, 42 tackles. 3 forced fumbles, 2 INTs. Not too bad if you ask me. But their real bread and butter on the defense is Joseph Sip Jr., linebacker, senior, 79 tackles, 7 sacks as a linebacker. I thought that was pretty damn good, which, I mean, I guess that means they send a lot of blitzes, but I like that 7 sacks. I do want my, the D lineman to get a little more sacks, but if your linebacker's getting 7 sacks, and I mean, fuck it, you're getting there. It doesn't matter how you're getting there, you're getting there. But yeah, my 13 team is Kansas.
All right, my 13 team is going to be Houston. They went 4-8 last year, 3-6 in conference play. Some of the wins I wanted to highlight was a 30-19 game against TCU. Also, a 24-19 game against Kansas State. And so Kansas State was pretty, they had some ups and downs last year, but you can be happy about beating them. Some of the losses, they also lost to Oklahoma, 12-16. And they lost to Baylor, 10-20. They caught Baylor at the wrong time. So we already talked about Connor Wegman coming from Texas A&M. Maybe he can change the tide over here in Houston. Like Austin said, he needs a lot more help. And then I actually wanted to highlight Dean Connors from Rice. I know Rice, not that good, But this running back, he had 159 attempts, 780 yards. He averages about 5 a carry, so I'm a big fan of that. And 9 TDs. His receptions also is pretty high. 62 receptions, 485 yards, and 2 touchdowns. But he did have 2 fumbles, which it's okay. You know, the jump between 2 and 3 I think are huge, which is weird. It's just by 1, but that, you know, you have 3 fumbles. Damn, you're fumbling too much. But 2, let's fix it. On the defensive side, I got AJ Hawley. He's a safety. He's going to be a senior this year. He had 74 tackles, 43 solos, 5 interceptions, and 8 pass defended. And then I'm going to go Carmicah Glass, a linebacker. And if you're not linebacker's name is Glass, I'm a little worried. So maybe injuries. I don't want to wish that on him, but injury might be a problem for this guy. He is from Louisiana. He's from Louisiana. 75 total tackles, 44 solos, half a sack, and 3 quarterback hurries. And I also wanted to highlight that 9 transfers that are projected starters are on the offensive side. So they are totally bringing in a whole new squad, and 6 transfers on the defense. That's all I got.
Team, brother. At that point, that's a whole new team.
That is my number 13 team.
Obviously, my 13, I already talked about it, UCF, for the reasons I already named and we already discussed them. Scott Frost, I think he's just going to do some good things. I have a little more optimism on UCF. Not that they're going to be crazy great, but I'm excited to see what Scott Frost going back to UCF, where he, you know, led a very dominant UCF team, you know, the quote national championships that they feel they were stolen from. See if you can't try and replicate something. Yeah, no, I'm with you too. You know, the quotes, undefeated, you know, I felt bad for them. They didn't even get the chance, but I get it. You know, I'm not a big defender, so, but I understand why you'd be mad. I'm excited for what's going on. Transfers, that's the big thing, you know, 30 transfers going there. I don't know what that's going to look like. I truly just don't know what it's going to look like, but I think Scott Frost is going to be a lot more comfortable there, and I think he can get to work, do some things there. 13 UCF.
All right. So my number 12 team is Houston. I can't hound on this team more than my brother has. More than Evan has. I just realized I said my brother and both of y'all are those guys. So may have had to specify there a little bit. He talked about Connor Wegman, Dean Connors, and AJ Hawley. The only person I could really add on is Jeremiah Wilson, DB. 24 tackles, 16 solos, 3.5 tackles for losses, 4 INTs for 1 touchdown. So maybe he could lock it down. I don't know. I'm a little higher on Houston than I think both of y'all are, I believe. And I'm not going to lie. As much as I hate the Aggies, I do believe Connor Wegman in Houston could be pretty good. He wasn't there good enough for the SEC, but Big 12, I feel like it's not big expectations for him this year. So I feel like maybe he could ball out and show the country what he really had. So, yeah, number 12 is Houston.
All right, so my number 12, Aaron's already mentioned. It's going to be the Kansas Jayhawks. They were 5-7 last year, 4-5 in conference play. Some of the wins I kind of wanted to highlight. They beat Iowa State, which was ranked 17 at the time, 45-36. This was at the end of the year. Iowa State had these up and down games at the end for some reason here. They also beat BYU 17-13. BYU was ranked number 6 at the time. And they beat Colorado 37-21. And they were ranked 16. So I will let you know, I have Kansas low, but this team has proven to beat teams they're not supposed to. So watch out for Kansas. If they're on the schedule, they might steal one from you. So just watch out. Some of the losses was Kansas State. They lost by 2. It's not bad.
You never know. You know.
Exactly. So on offense, they ranked 10th in the Big 12. And then defense, they ranked 10th as well. Aaron already talked about it. Jalen Daniels, dude, he 2 years ago he got injured. He came back at the end of the year. They had a hot streak, and people were like, okay, next year, here we go. And then he got a couple more injuries, and then he just struggled. So maybe it's hard to, go for him with all this past. I just don't know. Maybe he can change it, and if he does, I think Kansas will definitely go a lot higher. I also have Bryce Foster. That's really awesome that you got him, Aaron. I was not expecting you to get a center, but Bryce Foster, like Aaron said, he made the All Big 12 second team. So that's not bad. Hopefully he gets first team. On defense, DJ Graham. Aaron already talked about it, so we stole another one. He came from Utah State, the cornerback. But I changed it up. I got a linebacker, Bengali Kamara. I might have said his first name wrong. He's a linebacker, redshirt senior. He had 9 total tackles, 7 solo, 1 tackle for loss. This is his 6th year, so I just I want to see how he does. He played 4 games last year in the rotational. He played South Carolina. That's why he didn't have that much stats. So he was a rotational piece and then also got injured. I also wanted to point out in Kansas, all receivers are transfers. So that's also a tough situation there. And you also lose Devin Neal, running back. So, Kansas, I just don't know what they are, to be honest. So I just put them this low. That's
Okay, is it safe to say Jalen Daniels is the Cam Rising of Kansas?
I wouldn't go that far yet. I would give Daniels
I
a
feel
couple
like
more
he's a game
years.
changer when he's in. He's just never in.
Did Cam Rising have more than one successful season? So that's really Jalen had that season, right?
Yeah, just pretty much. Yeah.
And then he got hurt. Yeah. So
And
if
I'd have to
Cam
look it
Rising,
up.
if Cam Rising's had more than Cam Rising's been here for so long, but I'm sitting here just thinking like, what?
Hey, shout out to Cam Rising.
I'm trying to remember.
Congratulations
Besides
on the retirement.
besides the showdowns that Cam Rising would have with like Caleb Williams, and when the Pac-12 was still there, I'm trying to remember, was Cam Rising still doing that stuff prior? So if so, I'd say Jalen's got to have another season before I can start considering him a Cam Rising.
I was just saying, give Daniels like 15 more years, then you'll be on the same level as Cam Rising. That dude's been there forever.
Yeah.
Sit here and argue with that. I'm not going to argue with that.
Yeah, I'm not. Am I
You're
up?
up, brother. Yeah.
Yeah, you
Okay,
are.
sorry.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Am I bad?
You're
I didn't
good.
get anything. My 12.
We are not experts.
We are not experts.
Is this like a thing y'all do? Like every 20,
Yes.
30 minutes? Like let me just throw that out.
No,
if
it's
we
just
did it,
anytime we feel like it's necessary to insert "we are not experts," we both
Yeah.
insert "we are not experts."
If we did it every time we fucked up, people would get annoyed.
Got you. My number 12 I have as West Virginia. And kind of like what you talked about for Kansas, I don't know what to think about West Virginia. You look at last year, they were 6-6, 6-7 with the bowl game, losing to Memphis in a pretty good. It's a pretty good game. But West Virginia, sometimes you just don't know what you're going to get from them. They go in their first games against Penn State, which obviously we all know how Penn State did last season. It was a heck of a season. It was a good season for them. They lose 34-12. Then they get into the backyard brawl with Pittsburgh, and that was a heck of a game. You go and you duke it out with Baylor. You duke it out with Iowa State. Close games, like just competitive games. So you're thinking, man, this West Virginia's good. And then sometimes you go and get just killed by, Texas Tech, Kansas State. So I just never know what West Virginia's going to do, honestly. And so with those kind of inconsistency, I figured maybe 12. And maybe they do better, maybe they do worse. I just don't know what West Virginia I'm going to get. You have Green is lost, so they lose their quarterback. That's going to be a question. I don't really know the quarterback situation in West Virginia. They get White coming back, the running back, 845 yards, and you get production back in the receiving core between Clement and Ray. I think they have a combined of like 1,100 yards receptions together. So I think there's just a lot in the air with West Virginia, and so I just have them at 12. That was my TED Talk.
Yes, sir.
TED Talk.
And your dog always stealing the show, man.
There was a silence, so I figured I was like, "Oh, do I need to like have a transition?"
I will fill it in.
You're next.
My 11 team starting out at 11. Colorado. I don't want to be high on them, but I can't say I'm necessarily low on them. I know ranking wise they're a little low, but when I broke down the Big 12, I mean from I believe it was what? Let me look. 11 through probably 11 through 7-ish, 6-ish were all kind of tight. I think I kind of ended up having to go to who beat who kind of rankings there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not low on them. I kind of like I know they're going through a little bit of a quarterback battle, but let's be real here. It's got to be Caden Salters. He's probably going to be the guy. I mean, he's probably going to be the guy. I mean, he's a senior, 6'1", 190, threw for almost 2,000 yards last season. That's with Shadur playing. What?
Wait, what do you mean? I don't know where Shadur connects with Caden Salters.
I'm saying it was his father. Shadur's father was coaching. Yet this man still almost threw 2,000 yards that same season. Is what I'm saying.
Caden Salters is a transfer.
Oh, dang, you're right.
Yeah,
He is going to be
played for
coming
Liberty,
from Liberty.
Yeah, he's coming from Liberty, which is one of the easiest.
You're right. Either way,
they had one of the easiest schedules. So, I mean, he did good. You're right. I don't know what he's going to look like here.
Also, if you're listening, let's not be rude to Aaron. I thought Johnny Manziel went first. I fucked up the first episode. He went 22nd. We all make mistakes. So we're gonna let the past viewers.
I was like,
we are not experts.
Well, the only reason I asked is I was confused when he said that was with Shadur. So I was trying to connect Shadur with what Caden Salters is. Like, what does that have to do with him? So you thought he was with Colorado? Like, how do you throw 2,000 being the backup? That'd be a wild offense. If your backup quarterback's throwing 2,000 yards, that is an
That's
offense.
what I was. Yeah, that's why I was like, holy shit.
I was so confused.
I was mind boggled.
Like,
I ain't gonna lie to you. I was sitting there
okay, I can see that. I
How
was
the
so
fuck
confused. I was like,
did
what
he
does
do that?
Shadur
But,
have to do with Caden Salters? Yeah.
Yeah,
No, he's
Salters
coming
is
from
from
Liberty.
Liberty.
Yeah, Liberty had like one of the easiest schedules, honestly, but he did good. So like, you do good with what you got. I'm interested to see Caden Salters.
Either way, he's gonna have to step up. I think he's gonna step up.
Yeah.
He should play pretty good. He's got Joseph Williams as a receiver to throw to. I mean, almost has 600 yards, 5 TDs. He's going to have to step up now that Travis Hunter and J.C. Horn are gone. He's going to have to kind of be the guy. They don't really have a guy. I do feel like last year Colorado had probably one of the most underrated receiving rooms there was. Everybody just talked about Travis Hunter. Nobody talked about J.C. Horn, really.
Undeniable. One of the best.
I don't know why
players.
nobody talks about that man like he was not the shit. I mean, that dude was a dog.
Overshadowed by Shadur Sanders and Travis Hunter. It's kind of hard to get talked about when those two are on the team.
That dude is an absolute animal. I think the Panthers might have one of the best damn receiving cores out there right now.
Can I add something?
It's a little early. Yeah.
Yeah. I was saying, let's just retire Horn's jersey. We're retiring everybody's.
Hey, why not? Fuck it. Why not? Yeah.
My bad.
Hey, let's go ahead. Hey, Dion, go ahead and retire his jersey too. Fuck it. We're here.
Salters, you throw 14 touchdowns, retired. Your jersey's retired, dude.
Yeah, you're good. You're fine. Don't worry about it, brother. Don't even worry about it. I do got DJ McKinney written down. He's a DB, 6'2", 180 pounds. Had 62 total tackles, 44 solos, 3 INTs with 1 pick six. I mean, not bad at all. I mean, I like it. Good size. I want my weight up a little bit. I think I'm a 6 to 6'2" to 200 pounder. It's kind of what I like at DB. I'm also not a coach, so what the do I know, But that's just the size that I like. Then I have Martavius French.
Sometimes he talks about positions like they're his dating preferences. Yeah, I just like him. I like him a little bigger. That's me personally.
Hey man,
he's talking positions like they're
right. I know what I wanted on the other side of me. Damn it! All right.
I got you. It's just funny how you keep saying
6'2",
I like him a little
225,
bigger.
80 total
Just
tackles
baby
with 1 sack. I do think they play. I do think they get bowl eligible. I don't think they get very much past bowl eligible though. Yeah, my 11 team Colorado.
If Tinder had a weight preferences, just know Aaron's using the hell out of it.
It's easy. I love it. Keep going, but I'm like, man, he really has a preference for certain sizes on positions. It's good.
Absolutely, DB.
does
I have a size. I am a DB guy. I have my
Says it every podcast.
Okay, yeah.
All right, so I guess my turn. Number 11. I'm going to go West Virginia. Man. West Virginia is also a team I don't know. Just like Austin said earlier. 6-7. They went 5-4 in conference. They beat Kansas with some of the wins that I jot down, 32-28. They beat Cincinnati, like I said, 31-24. Cincinnati keeps games close, so that's nothing wrong with that. And I highlighted the loss to Pitt. What a game. Only lost by 4. It was close. The ranks in the Big 12, 11th in offense, 14th in defense, so the numbers are low on both sides. Austin also kind of touched on Jaheim White. 845 yards, like he said. I just wanted to mention he had 100 yards in 3 games, and those are against Oklahoma State, Texas Tech, and Albany. So those are against, defenses that are not very good. So, I think Penn State, he ran for 33 yards. So they just got to find a way to, get him more carries during those games. But I know it's hard running the ball, against Penn State with West Virginia's offensive line. I wanted to highlight Cam Vaughn, a receiver, redshirt sophomore. 48 receptions, 863 yards, and 5 touchdowns. Not too bad. On the defensive side, I wanted to talk about Michael Coates Jr., a cornerback from Nevada. 41 total tackles, 29 solos, 4 INTs, 13 pass deflections. And then Hammond Russell, the 4th. He's a defensive tackle, redshirt senior. 17 total tackles, 7 solo, 3.5 tackle for losses, and 3 sacks. I'm never going to get mad if a D tackle's getting 3 sacks. I love it. D tackles, you can't always look at the stats because those guys, they just got to win their gap. That's all they're here for. You know what I'm saying? You win your gap, they're getting blown up. They're getting blown up every play against these offensive linemen.
You don't
I just want
got
them
to
to win their
make
gaps.
the tackle to make the play.
Exactly. I agree. I kind of wanted to highlight, though, on the offensive line, left guard, and right tackles that are projected starters are all transfers, so you're bringing in a lot of new people on the offensive line. But I wanted to kind of highlight, we talked about White on the running back room. He'll share the running back room with DR Hubbard, a freshman, and Ty Edwards. West Virginia likes to use a 2 running back system, so we'll see who he shares with. And then they also had 6 transfers for defense. West Virginia is just like Kansas to me. I don't know where they'll go, but just like the Big 12, they might be 3rd. Who knows? And that's all I have.
So my number 10 team.
Let's not forget about my boy Austin, you know what I'm saying?
Shit, yeah. Sorry, it's that hat. Fucking throws me off.
Son of a bitch.
He's at number 10. I was just about to say, he's like, all right, I'll just leave this. Y'all seem to be going good. Y'all seem to be going. No, I'm actually with. I just slowly exit. You won't even notice. I'll just keep skipping. Just keep. Oh, Austin left when? When was that? I think it was at like 10 or 11. I don't know when. No, I'm with Aaron. I got Colorado at 11. They lose a lot of production. I know it usually gets overstated. Well, how are you gonna make up for the loss of Shadur Sanders and Travis Hunter? And like you were now discussing, how you kind of pointed to, well, it's not just Travis Hunter and Shadur Sanders, but that receiving core, Horn. I'm going to go even further. It's not just Horn; it's Wester. You lost Wester as well, so you lose Hunter, you lose Wester, you lose Horns, you lose Shepard. I'm going to tell you this number right here. They lose 3,200 yards of yards, production. 3,200 yards in receiving yards between those guys. You've got to recover that many yards. You got to find it somewhere. And I don't think they're going to be able to. I don't think you have those guys. For those guys, that receiving core was amazing. And yes, you had Travis Hunter. and he is one of those generational talents. And so it kind of overshadows what Aaryn was talking about. Like, no, they were a talented core. It wasn't just Travis Hunter. He did great. He had 1,200 yards receiving and play on the defensive side. That is amazing. But Horn, Shepard, Wester, all those, you got to figure it out. So I just think it's going to be a little difficult for him. I kind of got him lying in like that 5 wins, like 5-7. You know, it's kind of where I have them, just outside getting into that bowl. Not that they can't. I like what, and I might just be biased. I like the coaching staff. You know, what was it? Marshall Falk is there now.
Yeah.
You know, obviously,
Hey,
you got these
thing,
NFL.
One thing about Dion, man, he gonna be 10 toes. I mean, 7 toes down. So like,
I was like, where's he going with this?
he figured it out. You know what I mean? He'll figure it out.
Yeah.
God.
Oh, I'm going to hell.
Yeah. So they're just losing huge production, like huge big time impact players. And so they're gonna have to find that production and find those players that can make up for that. I'm gonna kind of push back on Aaryn on the Kadon Salters here just a little bit, because I think there's a quarterback that might have something to say about that comment. It's Juju Lewis. All right. I mean, he's a 5-star prospect coming out of Georgia, high school, not Georgia University. But he's a 5-star. He's a freshman. I think he's going to try and battle this out and get. So we might see a nice little freshman come in here and see what he can do. I'm not trying to say he's going to just go in there and dominate, but as far as I think there could be a question for who starts at quarterback. Obviously, Kadon Salters is your safer pick. Obviously, he at least has experience, though it is with Liberty. I think just who he's faced as opponents, it's too. But he did good, so there's no hate on it. But I think Juju Lewis, it might be interesting to see who Deion Sanders decides to pick. So that's why I have Colorado at 11. Now you may go to 10.
Now that I'm back in my frame.
Maybe if we snaked it. Maybe if we snaked it, it'd be easier.
I feel like I'll get confused, bro.
We'll just go from me to you to Aaryn, and then Aaryn, you to me. And keep going. Sorry.
Fair enough. I mean, we're already halfway in here.
Don't be speaking smart stuff.
Don't be using that witch stuff.
Yeah,
Aaryn acts like he doesn't do the NFL. Aaryn acts like he doesn't do fantasy draft and know what a snaking is.
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
But it highlights when it's his
one time a year. God damn it!
But it highlights when it's his turn. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It lets me know. It'll go. Yeah. And I know it's my.
Anybody got that sound so you can click it for him? We'll hear it.
Yeah. Aaryn, lay off the booze. It's your turn to draft.
Let me finish this beer real quick.
Heck yeah.
So my number 10 team is West Virginia. Evan literally just pounded everybody that I had on my list, pretty much. I mean, so
don't take that out of context. That's
homo.
Yeah.
Great. That was a great choice of words there. He just pounded everybody on that list. I was like, all right.
That's a lot of bodies.
What a man.
I don't know if I can handle all that, dude.
This is something ESPN would definitely play right here. That was love. Pounded everybody on my list.
Shit, I got the hiccups now.
Oh, heck yeah, we're going to have to cut out half of his dialogue. Heck yeah.
Let me take a drink real quick.
I ain't even gonna lie, so sorry, this is off. I'm looking at this Riverside on the top right. It says 72% upload. What is it upload?
That's the old video that we deleted. I'll just delete it afterwards. That first take.
I was like, what? Why is it saying that? Okay, continue.
No, you're good.
Shit. He goes bad.
So West Virginia at 10.
Yeah, the only person I'm really going to talk about since Evan talked about everybody else, motherfucking Fred Perry. It's 5'11", 200 pounds, 110 total tackles. I'm sorry, I'm
what
trying
a
not to
name.
hang up right now.
No, what a name.
Yeah, almost like the fridge. 47 total. I do have an issue with your DB having 110 tackles. Brother, that's one of your last lines of defense. Shouldn't be getting that many tackles. But he did on the bright side, have 3 sacks and 2 forced fumbles. So
Maybe this guy is lined up in the wrong position.
yeah, maybe he's more of a nickelback. I don't know what he got going on.
I was about to ask,
there.
I'll be honest, don't watch a lot of West Virginia, but if he is that nickel and he's just rolled down, he could just be in the play, but they have him as a defense. But I don't know. You're right. I don't know.
I will say where I looked did not have him as a nickelback, I don't believe.
Yeah, that's still
I don't
110 tackles. That's crazy.
This was days ago when I did this, so I have slept since then and drank since then. So couldn't tell you exactly his position. Sorry, guys. We are not experts.
All right, that's gonna be the last time we use that.
No, it's not. No, it's not. We're barely on 10. We're gonna be using that more. But yeah, I mean, I think West Virginia, they do have their boy back, Mr. Rich Rodriguez. All right, he is going to take them to the promised land. He is going to take them to bowl eligible. He is going to take them to kind of relevant in the Big 12 again. Since, I don't know, Geno Smith, Will Greer maybe. I mean, it's been a while since they've really been worth a damn. And I think this man right here can get her done. So yeah, my 10 team is West Virginia.
All right, my 10th team is going to be Colorado. So y'all have already talked about them, both of y'all. 9-4 last year, 7-2. Y'all honestly talked about the receiving core. I don't even need to talk about it. They were 5th in offense, and you lose half of those guys. You're 6th in defense. But you said you don't know if anybody can feel it. I think I have one guy can maybe, shed some of that. Omarion Miller. He had a lower leg injury. He only played 2 games, but the 2 games he did play, his stat line was 10 receptions, 216 yards, and 1 touchdown. So he's shown some promise, but the injury, you can stop him. But I think, he can maybe get you 800 yards. You're going to have to be receiver 1, so they're going to have to figure it out. And then I have Salter. Aaron talked about it, but there's a quarterback battle, so who knows what's going on over there. Defense, DJ McKinney, I think he's going to be a lockdown corner for Colorado. Deion Sanders, I think, is always going to have at least one of those guys, he did play that position. But I think Aaron already talked about him. I think he's going to be one of the best in the Big 12. He had that pick 6 like Aaron talked about. And I also wanted to do a DN, Arden Walker. This dude, 33 total tackles, 20 solo.
300.
Yeah, that dude. Pay that motherfucker. 4.5 sacks, 1 forced fumble, 5 quarterback hurries. This team, I feel like I'm saying this. I'm like a broken record. I don't know about this team. They seem like they're down, but you never know in the Big 12. I wanted to talk about, like y'all did, heavy transfers on the offensive side. And they had 5 for defense, so they're trying to, change everything. And their offensive line has always struggled. So they brought in 4 new offensive line. So whatever quarterback is playing for Colorado this year, he might not get the best protection. You're bringing in a whole new staff. Yeah,
hey,
a whole new staff.
Typical Colorado, right?
Exactly. I mean, if you can run the ball, maybe, but I don't know, man. I'm a little nervous about Colorado.
They ain't been able to yet.
Nope. But that is my number 10 team.
My number 10 team, I got Kansas. So we kind of already discussed it as far as Jalen Daniels. Can he stay healthy? Is he going to be the Jalen Daniels we know? Is he? Because he just doesn't play that often. But when he does play, like y'all said, he kind of got on a little bit of hot streak. So if he can kind of continue on that. Lance Leipold, as far as a coach, like I said, he kind of got that whole place excited over there in Kansas and then just wildly underperforms. And like we said, I think it all hinges on Jalen Daniels on that one. I have nothing much else as far as maybe a schedule. Yeah, I don't know if we realize this, but they play Missouri. They play Missouri 3rd week at Missouri. So it renews a rivalry. I mean, they haven't played, I think, in like 15 years, 14 years. Ever since this realignment has happened, I think it's kind of cut off some rivalries. Obviously, we kind of go back now to the West Virginia-Pittsburgh. Well, now here we are with Kansas and Missouri, a rivalry weeks again. It's at Missouri, third week. Good Lord. And I think it's more of the schedule. Notice this. I might be a crazy thing. I can see a scenario where in week 7, Kansas is going in to Lubbock 5-1. And then you're probably thinking, well, then why the heck would you have them at 10? Because it's after that where they play Texas Tech, Iowa State, Kansas. You see what I'm saying? And so that's where it's like you can go 5-1 in this dang thing, 6-6. Yeah, you're going bowling, but it's that moment where they can kind of come into Lubbock, Texas 5-1. You're thinking, well, Jalen Daniels on it. It's that back into that schedule that I start to question whether they can do it.
They could leave.
They could continue.
11-1.
They could continue 5-1 and start.
They can leave 11-1.
They could rock off 9 wins at least.
Best
and
conference
here you are,
is
9-3.
easily the hardest conference to rank.
Yeah.
Easily.
So I think there's just
tough.
I think there's just too many question marks for me. If Jalen Daniels can do what he does, you're right. 8-9, heck, 10. I don't know. You can also go 6-6. You can also go 6-6 right here, and it can get ugly.
Kind of like you said, you're kind of saying Kansas can be like Pitt. You know, Pitt had 7 straight wins and then lost 6 straight. So you kind of seen it.
It's a rough way to go. That's a rough way to go. Can you imagine the roller coaster for a family? It's not even a roller coaster. It's just you getting to the top, and then it's just we're just gonna keep going. Like there's none of this. It's like you kind of hate that for a fan base.
I will say though, Kansas might steal one.
I thought it was the Titans at Six Flags, where it's just like a real big drop. You know. Say that again. Sorry.
I was saying like Kansas though, they might steal a game down there. Just watch out. You never know what Kansas team we're getting. Yeah.
Yeah. So
you never know.
With all that, I have Kansas at 10.
My number 9 team, I have the TCU Horned Frogs. I think that they're primed for a better year. I'm not gonna say a good year. I think they could be kind of down and out since the man, the myth, the legend, Max Duggan left. But I do love their quarterback, Josh Hoover.
Yes.
Came out of where the hell did he come out of? Hold on. I believe it was another Texas school.
I really don't remember, to be honest with you.
Shit. I just went blank. But he came out of another Texas school. I'm not going to sit here and dwell on it too long. But he did come out of another Texas school. He's 6'2", 200 pounds, threw for 4,000 yards, essentially. 27 TDs, 11 INTs. He needs to bring those INTs down just a little bit, just a tidge. Turned the ball over just a little bit too much. But you could tell it's there. I mean, it's there. 4,000 yards, 27 TDs, it's there. He just got to work on them turnovers. He still had 4 rushing TDs. I'm hoping. For my ranking, I'm hoping he has a bit of a breakout year. I think he should. I mean, I think he's primed to. He's got, Eric McAllister as a receiver who's 6'3", 205 pounds. I think he's going to need to step up.
That's the size he likes. That's the size he likes.
We're back on that size.
Got a good guard to him, He got a good guard to him.
6'3", 205? Nah, I like that.
Yeah. He almost, he did 762 yards receiving and 5 touchdowns. I mean, if there's going to be a guy for him, it's McAllister. But I do like Hoover. I do think he's going to be a good quarterback. They got a decent, a decent secondary. I'll say secondary because that's how I got 2 DBs. I got Jamel Johnson, 6'1", 200 pounds, 73 total tackles, 44 solos, 1 forced fumble. So he's getting after it. Then you have Bud Clark. What a buddy. Senior, 6'2", 185, 67 totals, 43 solos, 1 forced fumble, 3 INTs. I mean, you're hearing things you like. It's just, for some reason, they just can't seem to put a season together since that national championship ass whooping that they got. I mean, I don't know what it is about them, but they have the things you like. They just can't do it. You know what I mean?
There wasn't a lot of teams not getting their butts whooped by Georgia that year, but I get you. I hear you.
Not like that on that stage, though, brother. You don't like to do it. Give us something. Give us some sort of form of life, okay? Something that says I'm breathing. All right.
Georgia walked out. Georgia walked out on that field, pulled out their belt. TCU just bent over and was like, "All right, here we go."
Yeah. They're like, "Good
BTA,
Lord, that's a
here we
massive
go.
cock, and I'm about to take it. Good night."
At least we made it.
We made it here. All right. Whoa, we made it against all odds. Now we're gonna take it. Okay.
Yeah, that's tough. That's all you got?
All
right, man. Just wondering. My number
you did
9.
kind of say that like you should have had more. Good Lord.
Yeah, my bad. Sorry, guys. I'm just trying to stay on top of it.
Or there.
Aaron, I need you to give me at least 50 players from that team. I need to hear all of the. It's like I need more.
It's Sonny Dykes.
Yeah, Sonny Dykes.
Sonny Dykes. That's what I got for you.
I mean, my number 9 team, no one has brought them up. I don't know how high you have them. I'm going to go Oklahoma State as my number 9 team. Let's just say they had a terrible year. 3-9, 0-9 in conference play. So they had a rough year. I will say one of them wins. They did beat Arkansas in week 2 in second overtime, 39-31. That's a really good game. They beat Tulsa. I had to write another win down, so I just wanted to 45-10. Their losses, I highlighted 2 very close games. A shootout against BYU, 35-38. BYU was ranked 13. I also wanted to highlight when they played Tech, Ollie Gordon came alive against Texas Tech, and it was a 48-56 game. That was, I thought we were going to lose to damn Oklahoma State, and I would have been really sad. But that game was close. You look at their stats in the Big 12. They're 12th in offense, 16th in defense. And I'm going to be honest with you. I had trouble finding players for this team. They're a bunch of no-name, but that doesn't mean they're bad. We just don't know them yet, and they can prove themselves this year. But quarterback, I went with Zane Flores. He's a redshirt freshman, but who knows? I wrote him down. Let's see what he can do. Maybe he wins the quarterback battle. I also go with Markel Samuel, offensive line. Okay, just because they're bad did not mean their offensive line was bad as well. Usually when you have a bad team, you're like, oh, their offensive line was shitty. Actually, their offensive line only averaged 1.2 sacks per game. It's really weird. It's just when your quarterback was
Bowman.
Bowman. That's, he struggled. But your offensive line helped him, but Bowman did not help you that well. So there you go. If you're Markel Samuel, he has 1 season left. He's going to be a senior. Maybe he can show out. This offensive line was already good. Keep that up for any quarterback that plays. And I see, some positive success. They could go 7-5. Their defense, I got Kyron Duhan from UTEP. He's an edge, sophomore, 43 total tackles, 21 solos, 7 sacks. And I also wanted to highlight cornerback Jalen Davis from UCLA. He had 30 tackles, 21 solo, half tackle for loss, half a sack, and 2 pass deflections. I will say Oklahoma lost their school's all-time leading pass catcher, Brendan Presley. So you have to find a new guy for him. They also lost both starters at wideout, so not just Presley, they also lost 2 more. So they're having to bring freshmen in and stuff like that, sophomores and some transfers. But that's all I have for Oklahoma State. They're also a team I don't know very well with the players, but maybe they make a name for themselves and prove to us.
Question real quick before we keep going.
What's up, man?
What the fuck happened to Ollie Gordon?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Where the fuck did Ollie Gordon go? What the fuck? I thought he was a first-round pick, and then all of a sudden I was questioning if he might even get drafted. That dude fell off
The
the
dude needs
face
running
of the
backs.
earth. That was. I'm sorry. That was one of the craziest drop offs I might have ever seen in my life. I'm sorry.
Well, I
I
can
would
That
give you one
agree.
in the same year that was worse.
You say
I
Donovan
bet you
Edwards.
can.
What?
Who's the drop off? I just
See, I can give you
wanted
an
to
even
hear
worse
your.
drop off. It was Shadur Sanders. In the NFL
I'm gonna
draft.
say no, because at least he played
But yeah, okay, I
good.
got you. I was like,
You
I
said the
get you
worst
now.
drop off. I was like, I don't know. I think Shadur was pretty bad. Like, yo, that was pretty
That
bad.
was pretty bad.
I
That
don't.
was pretty
I still
bad.
think Ollie Gordon was worse. He went from a projected first rounder to when did he get drafted? Didn't he get drafted
I
like
mean,
sixth, seventh round?
Yeah, but
to be
I
honest,
think it was just the need of running backs, and I think Shadur is just such a huge name. The fact that
But
dude
I'm just
went
saying,
that
like
far
Ollie
down.
Gordon was should be up there with, probably should have been personally, had he played like he did 2 years ago, probably should have been right after Aston Genty. Should be one A, one B. But
I'm sure they
neither
would
here nor
if
there.
that was the Ollie Gordon of 2 years ago. You know, they probably were like,
That's
well,
what I'm
he's
saying.
probably,
So biggest
yeah.
fall off to me, just biggest, just off the face of the earth. But give us your team. I don't
Yeah,
know what number
I
we're on.
think I would like to. I'm kind of tired of hearing it. I get it. It was bad, but I hope there's an end to the slander that's been going on about Oklahoma State. I have Oklahoma State as 9 as well. Yes, horrible year, but people are assuming that this Oklahoma State team is just dead now. It's over. Mike Gundy can't go. I'm sick of hearing that slander. I'm a big Mike Gundy guy. I think he's a great coach, and just because he has one bad year, the last time he's had less than
He's a man. He's
four.
40.
The last time he's had less than 4 losses, or yeah, 4 wins, less than 4 wins.
That's true.
20 years ago.
When he was 40.
Yeah, 2005. Okay. And so I'm really hating that last 10 seasons, Mike Gundy, of the last 10 seasons, 7 of those seasons, he had 7 wins or more. 3 of those were double digit wins, seasons, 10 wins. So I think they're going to bounce back. I think Mike Gundy knows how to bounce back. It was a bad year. It happens. And so I think this is where it happens. I think where they're going to see a lot of improvement is he decided to go and get a coaching staff change. His OC, Doug Meacham. Doug Meacham was the offensive coordinator for TCU from 2020 to 2024. So he was the offensive coordinator that was getting that with, like we were talking, Max Duggins and all that, and getting after it. They also get Grantham, the defensive line coach for the New Orleans Saints. He will be the defensive coordinator for them. And that was one of the weaknesses of Oklahoma State was their defensive line. And so for you to get the defensive line coach at the Saints, New Orleans Saints, say, I'll be your whole defensive coordinator, I think that's some exciting stuff. Maybe he can kind of get that defensive line going. The quarterback is questionable, right? We don't know what the heck we're going to get from quarterback, obviously. You lose Alan Bowman, but they're losing a lot of players. And in my eyes, you lose a lot of players, but you're 3-9. Is this like an addition by subtraction, maybe? Where it's like, hey, that obviously they weren't doing too good, so do you really care if you lost a lot of that production? And so I think Mike Gundy he does a good job of maybe correcting. Some people are saying he's kind of doing the, what do they call it, like the Dabo Sweeney, or you're not willing to jump into that portal yet. You're not adapting to the new age of college football,
The
and maybe
modern era.
he can start doing that. I think he's just going to start getting new staff and see if he can't change some things up. So I'm kind of excited, and I'm not going to count out Oklahoma State. I would. It'd be rare to see another Oklahoma State not make a bowl. I don't think we're going to see a
Yeah.
3-9. And if they prove me wrong and it happens again, then I might start being like, okay, Mike Gundy maybe might be
Maybe
done. But
washed.
1 year, I don't like
He
I don't
might
like
be
to
washed.
count Mike Gundy out. I think he's done some good stuff in correcting what was wrong with Oklahoma State. So we got to figure out that
No,
quarterback.
I
I don't know what
no,
that
I
is.
agree. I kind of wanted to talk about it because you were mentioning it. It kind of gives me like a Mike Norvell and Florida State situation. You're at the bottom, and I think they're both going to improve. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And like you said, it's like you're not looking to win. Like you want to win the Big 12, but that's not what you want a bowl game. That's what Florida State as well. You just both need to improve. I think they're about the same team, honestly. Just looking at it, you You're not going to win the ACC, Florida State. You're not going to win the Big 12 as Oklahoma State. You just need to get a bowl win and a bowl game, and that honestly is an improvement for both teams. So I agree. I just see it's funny seeing parity between those two.
For sure, and especially, like, once again, I already said this as we're going to talk about it. I think as we get deeper into this, we're going to get into those better teams, and we're getting into the upper half of this, obviously. We're going to start talking about it. We don't know how it's going to go right here. These teams can go one way or the other, and we're basically just kind of we're throwing darts at the board with who we think's going to do good and not, And so I think, Mike, it's just hard. If history kind of tells you what's going to happen, I have a hard time betting Oklahoma State out and Mike Gundy. I think he'll do a good job of possibly correcting, righting the ship.
I think there's a big difference between Mike Gundy and Norvell. Mike Gundy is a proven coach. Norvell had one good year.
No, I was talking about just by the just.
I think he was talking about like maybe the expectations.
There's a big difference, and it's like you're saying this year, this Oklahoma State's a lot like Florida State, where I argue, because it's going to lead into my number.
Hey guys, thank y'all for listening to the Big 12 Part 1. I had to, separate the parts because it was going to be almost 3 hours long. So listen, this is only 16 through 9. The next episode that just been dropped, that if you're on YouTube, just look at the newest video. That would be our predictions from 8 to 1. And also, if you're listening from Apple Podcasts or Spotify, would also be the next episode that I just dropped right after this, and it will be covering our top 8 Big 12 teams. So y'all go check that out. And also, thank y'all very much. Y'all subscribe. Y'all comment on any videos. Follow us on TikTok and Instagram by GridironBoyz. Listen to us on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to your podcast. Thank y'all very much for listening. Part 2 will be dropping very soon. It should be about an hour after this, hopefully. Editing's been a little tough, but thank y'all very much.